Mr. Yang Sung, Mr. Seju Jung, thank you for your time today, for joining us on this really rich conversation, from taking us through the overall trend in digital health technologies to the evolution of Noom and your personal relationships, and also your inspiring words to entrepreneurs everywhere who are advancing tech innovations to build a better world. I also want to extend our special thanks to the World Knowledge Forum for hosting us today. Thank you all for joining, and I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. Digital health solutions have the potential to make healthcare more equitable and create a better life for many. Spurred by the pandemic, we've seen an explosion of innovation and investment in digital health over the last few years, and acceleration of adoption of these technologies. Today, I'm so pleased to be joined by two visionary leaders in this space and get their perspectives on where we are on this innovation journey and what's to come. Yang Sung is a Silicon Valley-based investor, entrepreneur, and corporate executive who is passionate about building businesses and fostering emerging technologies that have the potential to transform the world for the better. Currently, Young is the founding managing partner of Walden Catalyst Ventures. He also serves as the chairman of the board at Harman International, and he co-founded Extreme Tech Challenge. Most recently, Young served as corporate president and chief strategy officer of Samsung Electronics. Seju Jung is the CEO and co-founder of Noom, which is a consumer-led digital health platform. Seju has spent over a decade building a passionate team dedicated to his mission of helping people everywhere to live healthier lives. Coming from a family of doctors in South Korea, Seju has always had an intense desire to help people. So with that, I'd like to welcome Young and Seju to our conversation.
Thank you, Victoria.
Fantastic intro. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. So I want to get started by discussing the state of the health innovation and particularly the intersection of tech. Let's start with Young. Where do you see are the emerging technologies, and particularly through the lens of an investor?
I think the whole intersection of technology and biology is really a very exciting space because what happened in the past was that biology and tech was really separate entities, almost. Today, they are really intersection of two, together a combination of the talent and collaboration. You can really see the acceleration of drug discovery, preventive health, as well as the sum of innovations around just the overall healthcare practice. I think the great example of mRNA that we all have been using, that is a great example of synthetic biology. Without the evolution of the gene sequencing, without evolution of really collaboration among the doctors that can be able to then isolate and being able to detect and being able to develop a vaccine synthetically, that's not something that would have been possible in the past. So I'm really excited about the whole process of using AI and data to accelerate discovery of the drugs that can potentially expand possibilities of molecular combinations much faster than the way we used to do in web labs. And some of the companies that I've been involved, like Peption, has been doing that. And I believe that our future is really bright. And I think we are going to get much more innovations in the area of drug evolution.
And coming to you, Seju, same question. Where do you see this tech is helping with the advancement of medicine and digital health?
I believe the technology has helped the reduce the distance between end users, in other words, consumer, patient, stakeholders, employee, policyholders, you name it. But at the end of the day, it's just end users. And the service providers, there was a lot of distance because the way the healthcare has been optimized for the last many years is a sick care focus. And I believe the technology has helped that reduce the gap and bring the preventative approach become the primary service. That means that before people face the chronic disease or face the difficult condition of the health, they have an opportunity. They can actually improve the overall health. And I believe over COVID-19 era, it actually did help a lot to build a better awareness and also provide the service through technology. So not only just make an easy access, it also lower the price. And I believe because of that, the healthcare service has been actually widely popular at this moment, and that end users. That's why Noom is also from the day first and today that we pay attention how we can pay attention consumer-centric service, because at the end of the day we want to deliver what has been working for end users and deliver a meaningful, healthy outcome. I do believe technology build like scalability and also make an affordable service for the end users. And this has been immensely changed the way the major healthcare the players, such as payers and provider, PV network, they all got changed because they want to make sure they deliver a great service, rather just like written well, but here's the vacuum in terms of service quality. That was like the before. At this moment, after COVID-19 time, I think consumers and also users are expecting a better service quality, and that has been the major shift in the last decade.
And I think this really leads to our next observation is the balance between reactive versus proactive health, right? So according to some estimates, reactive health issues really accounts for more than 75% of healthcare spending in the U.S. And proactive health initiatives are really striving, as you mentioned, Seju, to involve the patients in their own care, allowing physicians and patients to work together to address health problems before they become bigger problems that are really burdening our health systems. So, Young, your point of view here, and what are some of your observations?
You know, I think the time is right to deploy the mobility, which we all have supercomputers in our pockets, along with the cloud and with the data interchangeability. We can be able to now massively deploy information that we didn't have in our fingertips that can be able to give us a much better insight around what's going on. So often, as you know, we go to hospitals when we have issues, and that's very reactive and late. What if we can be able to predict potential heart failures? What if we can be able to see the trend lines that give you 13 symptoms that are potential biomarkers around cancers and other type of diseases? I think the world of the medicine and healthcare must go from the reactive to proactive. Like you said, the cost of care is going up. U.S. now today is 20% of GDP is in healthcare. I think Korea is maybe about half of that. But the trend line is very clear. It's going up and up on direction. We cannot afford to take care of aging society with the traditional healthcare. So we must innovate. We must use technology and combination of data, analytics, and sensors. I think we're going to get much better insight around our body. I believe Seju's company, Noom, is doing something about that. So maybe you can talk more about this subject, Seju.
Thank you, Mr. Son. I cannot agree more what he just mentioned, because the world has changed dramatically. And I believe simply the COVID-19 era, it built a better awareness that people are seeking for how to have a healthier lifestyle. Not only just prevent the chronic conditions or the disease, they also want to pursue a healthy, high quality lifestyle. That has been the new trend. And actually that was there before COVID-19, but I believe COVID-19 time that built a very strong awareness among the users, and also the healthcare industry has changed. And as Mr. Son just mentioned very well, that the society has been very aged, as we are now receiving a lot of the modern medicine and technology has been helping us to extend our longevity, which is good. So we stay longer in this planet. And the problem is, how well will our people can stay, right? How well are you having your life? It matters. And that comes down to like how do you manage your mind, body, your relationship. All matters. That holistic approach is a must because we are human and we are complicated. And without having a sound mind, sound body, and a relationship, how can we have a nice and again sound lifestyle and the quality of life? So that's the way that Noom has been paying attention by changing behavior, build a healthy habit that deliver long-lasting results. But again, according to Mr. Song's comment, technology has been the great way to build a next-level foundation. And then there's connectivity among like the devices and also the industries. And technology can actually help us to prevent and also advance. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for, again, moving the healthcare, the focus from secure treatment to preventative approach and also a higher quality lifestyle.
And let's dig into a little bit more about what's particularly unique about Noom, taking that psychological-based behavioral change approach. Tell us about how you came up with that, and what are the technology, the moat around your particular areas of expertise.
Happy to answer, Victoria. Thank you very much. Noom, we found the company 15 years ago, and we've been searching for how we can use science approach, but use technology to scale the service and make it affordable. In that way, we can deliver healthy outcome to massive population health. And so we were looking for how we can make that happen. In the beginning, we paid attention to fitness-oriented service, and then we realized that nutrition also matters. And then we also learned, as a startup company, we always learn, in the beginning of the era of the company, we learned that changing behavior is the way we can deliver holistic outcome, because only one pillar would not complete the healthy outcome. What did I mean the pillar? We view there are four major pillars to get healthy. It consists of diet, nutrition, fitness, exercise, stress, anxiety management, and also sleep, resting. These are very important pillars, and we all know, by the way. I believe we all know that, but it is very difficult to maybe relearn or also actually practice everyday basis, right? So we apply the psychology and also behavior change approach because we are aware changing behavior is very good. Okay, changing behavior is excellent and it's very powerful because it does deliver healthy, long-lasting results. But we also discovered it is very difficult, unfortunately, because it's a habit. So habit building is powerful, yet having a healthy habit takes some time and also real effort. That's why we use, again, scientific approach, but use technology to scale the service, but behavior change psychology is the way we can lower the barrier, but eventually we deliver great outcome. And thanks to Mr. Song's sponsorship and support and mentorship, that Noom was able to became the largest consumer-led digital healthcare company in the United States. I'm very proud of that. And Mr. Song has a site that he discovered us early on when we were like a tiny company. And we should talk about this today. But again, he has a vision and he sponsored that. And then we were able to figure that out how we can use the behavior change over technology. Thank you.
And over to Young, tell us how you found Noom and how did you spot early on what Seiji was building was incredibly unique and that prompted you to become an early investor in Noom while you're at Samsung?
Well, I was lucky. I got introduced to Seiju, and then as I'm listening to his story, I think he's very, let's say, motivated entrepreneur, trying to make an impact. We all know the digital health journey has been not an easy journey, but I think that it requires patience because eventually you have to translate the benefit of technology to behavior change. And behavior change is very difficult than it sounds. It's very, very, very a long process, and you need to figure out how to motivate people to change. As you know, we all know, actually, we have to eat right, we have to exercise, we have to sleep better. It's a common sense, but these behavior changes are really, really difficult thing to do. And how any startup can be able to tackle that issue is not an easy one. I think he went through quite a bit of changes to adapt and adjust his business models, I remember. But what I really liked about him is that, I think he was very motivated, and he had that entrepreneur zeal. You can really see he's the entrepreneur, he wants to do something. And also having a common background from Korea makes it easier to understand. So actually I discovered two companies with very similar name, Zoom and Noom. And the Zoom went out, and both of them had similar name, but it wasn't because of name, it was because I see they can impact people, and it can impact their lives, and it make their lives easier and better. And I was all about investing in technology companies that can make the difference.
That's wonderful to see this story of coming together, putting meaningful, smart capital, apply it towards a very visionary, ambitious entrepreneur that can take a great idea forward.
Absolutely.
Now, you've taken Noom as a startup to scale up. What are some of the upcoming opportunities and also some challenges that you see on the horizon, Seju?
I think it's worthy to highlight the story of how Mr. Son has helped the Noom, because it's such a beautiful story, and I think we should see more like this, especially for Korean entrepreneurs. Since I believe that a lot of audience would be a Korean out there. That Mr. Son. So I met him through a Transient Capital event, and then I purposely sat next to him because I really wanted to meet him. There's a lot of CEO founder wanting to meet him. And I hustled hard. I reserved a seat next to him, and I came the first that dinner event. First, like 3 hours before than anyone. And I was waiting, and I reserved a spot to make sure that I can have a more chance to speak with him. And after he gave a remarkable opening the speech, and also taught us the leadership and how to overcome all the difficulties of the business, that I had a chance to speak with him briefly at the end. And he paid attention to our story, and he gave me an opportunity I can present to his team, and eventually he navigated us how to present to the department at Samsung organization. So he helped us. He navigated the story of Noom to the giant ocean of Samsung. From my perspective, our perspective was kind of magic that he helped. And then I remember one line of email, he said to all executives, don't kill the startups, sponsor startups. Mm-hmm. I think that was the time that after he has seen that due diligence has been enough. And I think that was kind of like the way that he knew how to make a commitment and then move forward. And that has been tremendous for us. And otherwise, I don't think Noom could be here today. So I'm forever thankful for Mr. Young-sun's support and sponsorship. Second, I just want to mention that the challenges, what Victoria just mentioned. This is the way. Challenges, absolutely yes. We are startup. So when we started it, we were nothing. I came from Korea, and I knew zero human in the United States. I'm not exaggerating, right? I had to hustle all the time to build a network and learn about how I can get some help and I'll build something. And over the journey, everything is just hard because we have a vision. We have an ideas, and we can build out of our engineering skills, but the business requires product market fit. And product market fit requires capital. And also the distribution channels, all that is a business. It's very difficult. And, I had to hustle, but the thing is there has to also angels, great sponsors and Mr. Young-sun. There must be people out there, but to find the right person takes forever. It's hard. So make sure that stick with the company mission. Otherwise, it's very easy to demoralize. And second, always learn, because probably the company was not in the right shape. Our company, Noom, the prior version, probably bad. We didn't have a good product market fit. That's why we did not raise capital. And Mr. Young-sun always advised, and his team also advised very straightforward, sometimes direct feedback. Think twice about the business model. Do it better. The product, all that. And it's not easy to take all the feedback all the time. But that's the way a company can iterate and do better, slowly but surely. And that's how a company has evolved. And we figure the product market fit still today. So what challenge do I have? Now, company Noom is quite sizable. We are the largest, one of the largest BF chain company. Actually, we are the largest BF chain, the healthcare company in the United States. So how we can continue to build a healthy culture and also make sure that we take the innovation to take company product and service next level. That's the challenge. But I'm sure we'll find a way.
And Victoria, maybe I can just add a few more comments regarding the how we interact. Obviously, we are lucky to meet each other because sometimes it meant to be. But there are certain characteristics I'm always looking, right? And it is one of those entrepreneur, that entrepreneur zeal, the person that are willing to go to the mass and not giving up that easily, and also willing to test the ideas, and then if the idea is not good, willing to drop and readjust. And those things are all tenacity and persistence. And then I think the venture capital should give advice, but we have to be patient. And patient is sometimes not an easy thing to do, but eventually it's going to work out when you have the right people driving it. Also, Serge had a really good team. I actually visited his office in New York, met the team. It was a bit smaller, but you always had a good co-founder. He's a very technical guy. I think he's Ukrainian, if I remember. And they had a really good AI team. So I was very impressed early on.
What a wonderful story. And I think this is very inspirational to entrepreneurs that are watching, founders that are watching. And I always believe that there is no luck. Luck is what happens when preparation meets an opportunity.
I agree.
And you hustle, but also Young saw the potential in you and the potential in Noom. But really, it takes his expertise to help shape Noom and help to guide you and provide you with his advice to what Noom is today. So what a wonderful story that inspires the next generation of innovators. I want to touch on looking forward. I want to hear about more on Noom Coin and what is your vision for how Noom is playing in this new Web3 space?
Thank you very much. So we actually debated quite a lot for years about how we can use the extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, right? Because a lot of our people are looking for, I need a help. So help me to be held accountable and also guide me and make sure that I deliver my responsibility in terms of I promise and I will get better. And there's a lot of psychological, like the skills and also the tactics we can guide our users. We develop our service with a ton of intrinsic motivation. But extrinsic motivation, such as what people often claim that gamification of the service, right? And that is the area that we've been paying attention. And Noom Coin is not what you may think of crypto. It's the concept of Noom Coin is we want to reward our health users whenever they had healthy choices. So that way we can motivate them and also make sure that they can continue to stick with like a healthy behavior. The reason is, as Victoria, you also mentioned well, and Mr. Yongson shared his insight, that changing behavior is great, but it's very difficult. So we believe rather over the night that people commit and then I will change my behavior, we have seen a lot of failure. If the goal is too ambitious with an unrealistic timeline, it's often difficult. But if we guide slowly but surely, okay, one by one, for having a healthier choice for beverage and eat and also like exercise. If you don't exercise, it's okay. Why don't we just walk first? So all that activities, that healthy behavior that we can reward. That way, our user can be motivated, stick with our platform. That way, we have a better chance because we have a longer engagement and deliver a healthy outcome. That is the way we develop the Noom Coin. But I am paying attention Web 3.0 for sure. And as we adopt it, we are the pioneer of using mobile the technology to enter into this healthcare. And I believe that is the next technology. As I mentioned, that we are looking for how to take the innovation, so make it the product better and ready for answering what they are asking. So that's the area that I'm paying attention for sure.
Great. Young, any last words of wisdom to leave with our audience?
Well, I think that often the startup journey to scale up journey is not a straight line. And I've seen Sergio's leadership. Noom was, had some times where for a while, I think we were thinking, oh my God, we could be even shut down mode, a few years back. And then under the leadership, it rocketed back into the new business. And I think it teaches you that strong leadership that can be able to navigate difficult, turbulent time is what's required, especially, I think, next few years as we're going through headwinds of economic reality. I think the entrepreneurs with agility will survive and even thrive in a time like this.
Great. As we come to the end of our conversation, Young, please, your inspiring words to the next generations of entrepreneurs watching us today.
I think that there is a tremendous energy and opportunities that we can all make the difference. And I would love to see more of you that are out there joining and doing something about what you care about the way we live. And I think Sergio has done a great job with Noom. And I think there will be others that can follow. I believe success will have more followers, and more followers can create more success. And therefore, we can have a bigger impact. I also have a nonprofit foundation to encourage this. It's called Extreme Tech Challenge competition. It's the largest startup competition in the world. And I think you can find more about how to apply and join in this journey. Thank you very much.